This Spotlight is brought to you by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.
Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette. Today I'm joined by three local nonprofits, the Naperville Jaycees, DuPagePads, and Heart of a Veteran. You're watching Spotlight, and joining me now from the Naperville Jaycees are Beth Nagita and James Wernette. It's so nice to have you both with us. Loved the logoed gear, and we're going to talk about both Last Fling and the Jaycees in general. But we'll start with you, Beth. I know you've been a longtime JC. Your dad was a longtime JC. Talk a little bit about why you got involved and what the Naperville Jaycees do.
Of course. So the Naperville Jaycees is part of an international organization. And so, which a lot of people I don't really think know that. There's chapters all over the world. We're part of a great big organization that their mission is to do community service while generating leadership skills for young professionals who are 20 to 40 years old. So I find that idea I think is great. And I, like you said, I've been a member kind of since the womb. My mom was pregnant at JC events, and I kind of was just forced to come along. So I think with that, it just became part of my blood. And when I moved back after grad school to come here, this was what I wanted to do. I found my own group of friends. I was able to still work with all the adults that I worked with and volunteered at events when I was a kid, but then I was able to actually work at events and plan them and make them my own. And I thought that was a great opportunity for me, and I love it.
Yeah, and I think you said it so well. It's a young professionals organization, so there's that business component of learning those leadership skills, as well as obviously all the great social that comes with it. And so, well, James, talk about the impact that the Jaycees have had in our community, because you have a very rich history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Jaycees have been in this community holding events for many, many years, raising funds for different organizations, working hand in hand with different charities. And it's just a great organization that really is a great part of this community that we want to make sure people know about and can come and join us or support us or whatever they can do.
Yeah, talk a little bit, you have a business in town, our Wernette Law Firm. How do you feel the Jaycees have helped you as a young professional?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the big things for the Jaycees is, believe it or not, I have not always been the most polished public speaker, and it has given me an opportunity to do things like this, to go out and talk to people, and to really get a lot better at that than I was when I was 20. So, those different opportunities to do things that maybe are a little bit out of your comfort zone, but not have the worry of being fired from your job, or really, everybody's there to support each other, and that's been great for me personally. And then as far as my business, it's kind of a fringe benefit of such a great organization, but I've definitely gotten business connections, clients. I've hired other Jaycees to work at my law firm because I know how great of a job they do in the community, how wonderful they are, and well, come work for me then, come work with me. And it's a lot of friends, a lot of connections, and I don't know where I'd be without it. I definitely wouldn't be here, filming the show, but it's just a wonderful organization.
Yeah, building on that. So, Beth, what if you had to pick one thing that you felt like, gosh, I really got this skill, or I learned this through the Jaycees, what would it be?
I think a lot of it, the public speaking was a big thing for me, but I also feel like delegation and leading a team has also been a big help. Like a person tends to take on everything themselves, but here you have people that are there to help. And so asking them to complete a task. So we have events like Easter egg hunt, where we stuff 14,000 eggs with candy every year, and then they're gone within 5 minutes of the event.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, really. And so, you obviously can't stuff 14,000 eggs on your own. So you have people going out and trying to get candy, get the plastic eggs to stuff, and then we have to organize that. So when the other people come to help, the boots on the ground, you have to delegate, please do this, please do that, and then together we make this wonderful event where kids are happy, they get all their candy, and parents are happy. So, those are the big things I feel like you see an event, you plan it from nothing, and then it blossoms into this beautiful community event.
Yeah, not only delegation, but planning. putting a plan together, and then having everybody have their responsibilities, and even being a part of that or overseeing it is something you can definitely translate to your professional life. very well, and the Jaycees has given us that opportunity to try that out. In
Yeah,
a much
absolutely.
lower pressure
Lower
environment.
pressure in a safe space, right?
In a safe space, yes.
Yes, there you go. Beth, give us a little bit more on some of the activities that you're engaged in and things that people could get involved in.
Of course, yeah. So we have the Easter egg hunt. We also have Lobster Day, which is the Saturday before every Mother's Day, where we fly in lobsters from the East Coast, and then we sell them to everybody. And that's one of my favorite because I love lobsters. So.
Yeah, the lobsters don't like it so much, but it's good for everybody
They're
else.
quite delicious. And then we also try to do one philanthropy event every month. We understand that we want to raise money a lot. We do a lot of fundraisers, but we can't always raise all the money. So we want to make sure we are helping the community in any way possible. We adopted a mile of the river, of the mighty DuPage River. And so we clean that 2 to 3 times a year. We just completed, we were floating down the river and cleaned it in, like all from the ground and all from the sides. Amazing, all the things we found. But then our biggest one is the Naperville, it's the last fling that's held over the Labor Day weekend. And that is our biggest fundraiser. It's our biggest event. And I can't say, but honestly, I think that's my favorite.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great way to end the summer, right? Mm-hmm. And you've evolved that over many, many years, I think, to meet the needs of the community and what's going to work for our community. Mm-hmm. When do tickets go on sale? How long do we have to wait for that?
It's a free event.
It's going to be free.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a free event. So except for there are things like food and drink and then carnival tickets you'll have to pay for. But it's free to come in, walk around, listen to the music. We're happy to have you.
Love that. Love that. James, how do we become a JC?
So,
what's the process?
JC's meetings are held at the VFW in Naperville, and they are the second Tuesday of every month, unless there's a holiday conflict or something like that.
Okay.
The meeting's is it 7?
7.
It's at 7. it moved up a little bit, which I think is better because a lot of us bring our kids now because they want to join and have fun. My kids were in the river helping us clean up a couple weeks ago, and it was great. So that's another great thing about the Jaycees. It's families. You can do a lot of the stuff together. So so you come to a Jaycees meeting, you come to 2, you can join. It's great. Once you join, you can check out the meetings online. They're via Zoom. You can follow along. We'd love to have you at all the meetings, but we understand life happens. So some people come to all the meetings, some people come to a few, and then join us at the river cleanup. So it's we try to be flexible with people's busy lives. Okay,
that's wonderful. And they don't have to know anybody. They can just walk in.
Mm-hmm. They know us.
That's true. Yeah, of course they do. Yeah. Who doesn't know you, right? I mean, that would be a more opportune question. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. And we'll be seeing you at the last fling.
Hope so.
Absolutely. And if you would like to learn more about the Naperville Jaycees, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. Coming right back with more Spotlight.
This is the Run My Own Business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and joining me now from DuPagePads is Jenna Lee Turner and Scott Austin. So very nice to welcome you both to the show. And Jenna Lee, I'm going to start off with you. Talk a little bit about how DuPagePads is working to end homelessness today.
Yeah, so our mission is to end homelessness in DuPage County, and we believe that the solution is in housing. So we focus on providing support and resources and housing services for folks who are experiencing homelessness in our community. Every night we serve about 600 neighbors throughout all of our programming. So we have about 300 people at our interim housing center, which is a hotel that we purchased in Downers Grove, and we're able to provide shelter, resources, food, support, services, all kinds of things for the folks who are staying there who would otherwise be staying on the streets. What's important to recognize too is that about half of them are children. We don't realize that there are so many families who are also experiencing homelessness. We're able to offer them some stability and some dignity, and we're able to support them so that the kids have a safe place to go, they're able to stay in school, and they get support and resources too. It's a fantastic new program. We launched this about 2 years ago, and it's the first of its kind. So we're working with a lot of other programs all over the state and even across the nation so that everybody can provide housing and an emergency shelter in ways that support the dignity and the validity of each person and their own humanity.
Well, I think that's so interesting too, right? Because I think oftentimes we think about shelters and we think of a pad on the floor and we think of a very open space, right? As opposed to what you're offering there is a door that closes and I'm safe inside, right? And I've got to believe for the children and the families, that's so important.
It is so important. We're able to keep kids in school. We're able to help them still continue working toward their academic goals. We're supporting them with accessing camp and other options and family enrichment activities all summer long, which is important. And we're keeping everybody fed and safe.
Yeah, so you kind of touched on that a little bit because, again, I think a lot of people think about it as just housing, but you have a lot of other services. So give us a little bit more of an understanding of some of those services you're offering your families.
Yeah, so we have our emergency housing, our interim housing center, and then we also have a number of housing programs. So we have rapid rehousing and permanent supportive housing programs, and those offer short-term and long-term supports for individuals and families who've experienced homelessness. The rapid rehousing is about really helping families and individuals launch back into living alone in the community and developing self-sufficiency. And our permanent housing is really about helping folks with significant barriers or disabilities and other things that they're up against, making sure that they stay housed and they stay safe and healthy in our community too.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times we know that the reasons people get into homelessness, they didn't just decide it, and it's not always just money issues. It can be other mental health challenges and those kinds of things. So you're really covering the gamut of all of that.
Yes, it's so important. And it's really more than just housing services. We have case management, we offer some clinical support, and we connect them with lots of resources in the community. So we're really about integrating folks in the community and making sure that they have all the supports that we need. We even have 44 of those households right here in Naperville.
Yeah, and that's good that we don't really know where that is, right? You're just experiencing, and that gives people that dignity, right? Scott, how can the community help? How does it already help you?
Yeah. One of the things that we've known for a long time, and it's still true today, is that we can't end homelessness without the community's investment. And that's the community at large and all the people within those communities. We really rely on members of the community to contribute in different ways to end homelessness. We utilize community members in a variety of ways. Two really important ones are through people that volunteer with the agency and those that contribute in other ways. Volunteering takes on many forms, and it's essential to the day-to-day operation of our shelter and housing programs. It's really important what the volunteers do. That's everything from serving meals to make sure everybody is well fed and well taken care of, providing access to basic needs, clothing, and resources, and specialized volunteer opportunities. As generally mentioned, we serve many children in our program, and so we have volunteers that do tutoring with our kids so that they get the enrichment that they need even while they're facing a challenging time in their life. We have volunteers that provide career coaching and career assistance as well. So volunteers fill a huge role with the work that we do and make a huge impact on the clients that we serve. In terms of other ways the community helps, contributions to the organization's mission through donations of whether it's financial resources or in-kind donations. Many of the things that we provide to our clients are through donations, and that helps to ensure that the whole program can function well, giving the clients everything that they need in their journey to housing.
Yeah. Now, what challenges might you be facing?
Well, we're not alone. A major challenge across the country and especially locally is the lack of affordable housing. Many have described it as that there is a severe shortage of affordable housing. We need housing for our clients and those that are experiencing homelessness, including for our housing programs. One thing in particular that community members can help out with is connecting us to property owners and property managers, where we can look for apartments that we can lease through our program or through other resources to help clients transition from homelessness to housing.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't want it to be a back and forth. You want it to be a out of homelessness and into permanency, right?
Correct. Our big goal for clients that are leaving our shelter program or our street outreach program is to obtain permanent housing. That means that they leave homelessness forever.
Yeah. So generally, you know, if I'm in the community and maybe I see somebody that I've seen a few times in the same spot, and I'm thinking to myself, gosh, you know, do they have a permanent home to go home to? Maybe are they homelessness? What would you guide community members to do?
I would encourage you just to say hi. If you feel comfortable, just to treat them like any other person that you might encounter on the street. From folks that we've talked to in our programs, they've shared all the ways that community members and neighbors have just said hello and just treated them like a whole person, and the ways that they feel like that made their day. And if you're really concerned about where somebody's staying or whether they have somewhere to go or if they're safe where they're at, you can always encourage them to reach out to us. They're welcome to go on our website and call our phone number and talk to somebody on our triage team, or you can too. So if you're really concerned about somebody and you're not sure if they've reached out, you can always get a hold of us and we'll send someone from our street outreach team to see if they can make contact and connect them with services.
Okay, that's good to know. It's nice to know because some people feel very comfortable and maybe just making that phone call, right? If you see something, say something, to quote the police department. Scott, you've got a big event coming up in September, kind of gets back to your second thing of funding and all of that. Give us just a quick, short update.
Yes, we're extremely excited. This is the first year that we'll be providing an event called the Great Descent. It's part of our annual charity challenge. What the Great Descent is that participants will have an opportunity to rappel down the side of the Hotel Arista here in Naperville.
Okay, I'm not sure if that excites me or not. Terrified eyes.
It'll be exciting for some. It's all day on September 8th. And we welcome observers and people to cheer on those that are participating that feel good about climbing down and scaling the side of a hotel building.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit Mission Impossible-esque. That's kind of fun. I like that. I mean, not for me personally, but I like it for others.
We know many people are really excited about it.
Yeah.
And it's a way to lift up those that we're serving.
Yeah, I like that. And people can go to your website to get signed up for that?
Correct. Everything that we've talked about today can be found on our website, and we're excited for people to come check us out.
Wonderful. Listen, thank you so much for all that you're doing to end homelessness in our community. It's really appreciated, and we appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. To find out more about DuPagePads, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.
This is the Run My Own Business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned.
Welcome back to Spotlight. And joining me now from Heart of a Veteran are Jordan Howell and Heather Nelson. So it's really great to have you both on the show. And Jordan, we've met before. Let's talk about how you founded and why you founded Heart of a Veteran.
So Heart of a Veteran started in really 2015 when we wrote a book called Heart of a Veteran, telling the stories of 10 veterans' lives, and that was just to bring awareness to the suicide epidemic amongst veterans. A couple years went by after the book came out, and I really wanted to continue to help veterans, so we started Heart of a Veteran as a non-for-profit, and we offer holistic approaches to healing to veterans and their caregivers. So we do everything like chiropractic and massage and yoga, to having practitioners that are herbalists who can help our veterans with things like PTSD and sleep issues and so on and so forth.
Okay,
That's what we're doing.
Well, and I love that you started with a book and then moved into your services. That's great. Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to be a one and done. So.
Okay, I love that. Yes, who wants to be a one-trick pony, right?
Right,
We keep
exactly.
moving. Heather, you know, obviously you're a herbalist, so talk a little bit about how what you do fits into the mission of Heart of a Veteran.
So a lot of the veterans suffer from PTSD, anxiety disorders, and other issues that they don't necessarily want to go to regular Western medicine to handle, or they've gone that route and they just are fed up or don't know what exactly to do with that. So we give them other options through herbal medicine, lifestyle modifications, and anything from food, eating, dietary modifications, and look at their overall health to see what we can do, little changes to make their lives better.
So Heather, tell me a little bit about how you got connected with Jordan.
I'm in a networking group, and one of the veterans in the group is connected with Jordan, and he introduced us. We actually, he didn't even get to introduce, he had mentioned us both to each other, and then we had gone to an event, Women You Should Know event through the Plainfield Shorewood Area Chamber of Commerce, and she happened to sit across from me, and we just started talking, and I said, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be introduced to you, and we're supposed to get together. I think we really need to talk. So we went to coffee and immediately hit it off and just knew it was a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
So.
And she is brilliant, absolutely brilliant in what she does. So I was so excited to be able to share what she does with our veterans. And the veteran she's referring to happens to be John Evans, who was with us last time we were here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so
so
he's
interesting.
still getting services from Heart of a Veteran, and we just honored him with our Heart of Gold Award, and she made the award for us.
Oh, nice. I love it. It's such a small world, right? It all comes around.
It
That's
does.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Jordan, talk a little bit about how you're funded.
So we do fundraisers. We do everything from comedy shows to slammers games, those kinds of things. We have done, we've had the big galas and the little events. So we also get grants. We do monthly donations. So there's a big array of ways that we get funded. So we're always looking for grants that will help us. We're always looking for corporate donors, those kinds of things. But our fundraisers are really how we get a lot of our funding. And we do have a fundraiser actually coming up in September. It's a comedy show in Bolingbrook at CG's Comedy Shop. And Kevin Bozeman is the comedian friend of mine who is going to perform that night. So I'm very excited about that. But those are ways that we make our money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, obviously, you got connected, and I love the story of how you got connected with Heather. How do you work with other practitioners to support your veterans?
Yeah. So we find practitioners that live in the areas where our veterans are and that are in close proximity to them. They don't really want to travel all the time. So we find veterans in their area that they partner with us. They give us a special rate for our veterans, and the veteran makes their own appointment. They go to their appointment, and we pay for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's really kind of, and it's a pretty simple process. That it's not like the veteran's paying and you're reimbursing. You're just taking care of that directly.
Yes.
Heather, for you, how is the work working with the veterans? What has been your experience working with Jordan's clients?
It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Just seeing these people's lives improve through anything I can help them with, the herbal medicine or any suggestions, it can be life-changing for them. And it's just so special.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So go ahead, Jordan.
She handed me a tincture for digestive issues. And she handed it to me. She said, here, take this. And I trust her so much. I'm like, well, okay. So I open it and just start taking it. But she is, when you talk to her, she is so brilliant in the knowledge that she has about all of this. And her education is endless. So to have her on our team just makes things so much better. And to see veterans excited about actually doing something different. I've talked to many of them, and they're like, yeah, I'll do it. So we're going to introduce her to a lot of our veterans in one space. In August, we're doing a seminar on sleep.
Okay.
And we call it, Does Sleep Elude You? And she's going to talk about holistic approaches to sleep. So.
Yeah, something that I think lots of people struggle with, and I would imagine
so. Yeah.
veterans can struggle with that quite a bit.
Yeah.
And if people want to get engaged with you, Jordan, with the Heart of a Veteran?
Go to our website. That's the easiest way to get in touch with us. So.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for stopping
Thank you
by.
for
We
coming.
really appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck with your upcoming events.
Thank you for having us.
you.
We're excited to be here again. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jane.
And for more information about Heart of a Veteran, please go and visit their website. I'd like to thank all of my guests for joining us on Spotlight, and our friends at Busey Bank for their generous sponsorship of today's show. To learn more about the organizations featured on this episode, please visit our website at nctv17.org. And to stay informed about what's happening in our community, sign up to receive our daily news update and like and follow us on social media. For Spotlight, I'm Jane Wernette. Thank you for watching.
This Spotlight is brought to you by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.